every one of these guys is involved in beer, and you guys drink beer, I think. And so I wanted to we want to introduce each single one of you guys. They all have the first name starting with B, so I think this should be called Beers and Bros panel. So if you could, check your mics real quick. What?
Check.
We got one mic so we can hear him.
Sibilance. Check.
Unique New York. Okay, starting with you. Tell them your name, the brewery you're with, and how old you were when you had your first beer.
Is the law here? My name is Brian Geese, and I'm with Docent Brewing.
Docent.
Conservatively, 13 or 14.
Oh, man, you're from Florida.
Yeah.
No. Okay, next one.
I'm Bobby Fitzgerald. I'm with Gunwhale Ales in Costa Mesa, and I probably first enjoyed it maybe 16 or 17.
First enjoyed it. First couple times was
late
gross.
bloomer.
He's late.
Brett Lawrence with Town Park Brew in Anaheim.
Yeah, maybe be a little closer. Do we know which mic he's on? You could talk down into your chest.
Hello.
It's on.
Hello.
We hear you.
You guys hear me?
It doesn't look that cool. But, okay, we'll just project. Diaphragm.
And I got drunk when I got drunk. Or I got drunk?
No. Either one is fine. My first beer, I got drunk, so.
I was 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago.
How are we doing on audio? Do we need to check levels? We went straight for it. We good? Okay, sweet. Oh, also, thank you, Gigasabi, for having us. This is Gigasabi. It's an agency right here. So I got some notes here. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. I want you guys to ask each other's questions. But I want to know, why don't we starting here? How'd you get into beer?
Like I said, around 14, 15. But beer, I don't know. I think at some point in my life, I realized the wide spectrum of beer flavors and opportunities out there besides the mass market stuff that was offered. So we were always the guys getting the better kegs in high school, or post-high school, I should say. But just falling in love with something and wanting to learn how to create it, right?
Yeah.
That is like the ultimate goal for any creative, I think. And really learning everything I can about it day by day. So that's
awesome.
Yeah.
And how'd you get into beer?
For me, I think the experience that was like the most kind of mind expanding was I went over to Europe studying abroad before I was 21 legal to drink here. So I was like fully immersed into like the pub culture and getting to pick out my own beers and all this stuff. And I think my mind was blown over being able to have like Helles and Junkels in Bavaria and Pilsners in Czech Republic and stouts in Dublin. And just, I think coming back, I graduated, moved back, and I lived in San Diego. When I got back here, suddenly there was like a revolution. It was like late 90s or whatever. The revolution was happening down there with Stone and Ballast Point. I was just surrounded by it. It just kind of eventually led into it.
It's kind of awesome because it feels like there's a surgence right now, just like brand new microbreweries, things popping up all over the place. I know Town Parks, you guys are brewing starting tomorrow. How's that process been getting to all the way to finally start to brew a mass product?
Oh, I think I have great hair. We started 3 years ago brewing. We're contracted, so we started that. Tomorrow we fire up our. That right there is a goosebumps. I can't even tell you. It's an experience so far. Thus far, it's been about a 3-year process you're building out.
Yeah. How did you get into beer, Brett?
I think, we all got into beer when we were 14, 15, getting drunk. But, it all happened. I think that Samuel Adams commercial, I'll never forget it. I think everyone's seen it, you probably remember it. When you see the owner rubbing the hops and he was smelling it. And there's something about it. I grew up on the ranch, a lot of agriculture, oranges, apple trees, and all that. So I've always had a passion for food. And it just something clicked there. And then 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I took over the family events. I kind of decided to not sell their products, make their own. If I sell someone else's beer, their own beer. And so the business side of it.
Yeah, I mean, how long does it take to make a beer that you even like? I mean, I can imagine it takes a few tries. Maybe you nail it on the first try. I mean, there's sort of a secret sauce in there.
I'm not any means the head brewer, the master brewer.
Sure.
Like Brian is over here.
Brian, why don't you tell us how long does it take you to nail the beer that you want to nail?
And maybe I'm lucky, man. But there's no sparing research and a lot of work and a lot of care, attention to detail, sanitation, a lot of drinking. But yeah, just truly loving something enough to want to know how to do it well, and make the best version of what you like, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so is there a beer right now that you guys are like, man, this thing is just like, this is the beer I dig? Maybe no.
I just had a really nice wild beer from Society yesterday. I thought it was pretty nice. Almost anything Allagash makes. We're big fans of what they're doing.
What makes a good beer? Like I mean, for me, I just like the way it makes me feel and the bubbles. I think I probably drank what's the champagne of beers pretty much exclusively until age like 25. For sure, there's a lot of empty bottles. But
I think a good scale is your third beer. When you go back for a third of that same beer, then you know that you love it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, what makes a good beer? I mean, you're a cicerone, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I know for us, I mean, so what we really try to focus on a couple things. We have a very stylistic approach, so that's like bright, dry, aromatic, and balanced. For us, like we're really like interested in nuance, which is kind of lost in the industry right now, or at least undervalued, I should say. There's a lot of people are chasing a lot of things that are a lot around hype, or there's some sours that literally like rip the enamel off your teeth, or you get heartburn while you're drinking it, or these pastry stouts are like 18%, and they're super fun. It's all this innovation's cool, but they're not super drinkable. Is why people are like having to split it with 4 of their friends.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that. Sessionability is like really cool. Keeping, for us, we like to keep the ABV like in check. So you want to sell 4 beers at a time, not one.
Yeah, just you one beer, and you're just like, I need to Uber. Yeah. Tell these people what a cicerone. I didn't even know what it is. Like cicerone, I'm saying it right. Did you guys know this existed?
It's a certification program it's essentially the equivalent to like a beer sommelier. So it's a program that's.
So you're just like, nutty.
Is it pinkies up? It's pinkies. Yeah, pinkies out.
Pinkies up.
Yeah.
14
Can you
years
tell
to
where?
say
Can you
nutty.
tell where the hops come from? This is France.
It is. It's cool. I mean, the cool part is anyone can learn this stuff. It's just like education. You have to kind of train yourself. A lot of brewers will know it instinctively because of either training or things they walk through in the process. But it's also food pairings. It's recognition of off flavors. It's history, styles, draft systems. It's like service. So everything.
If we could, let's get into a little bit about you guys' individual brands and stuff, because that's a really interesting thing to me. I mean, you guys are starting brands from absolute scratch. You're on the ground room floor. You're having conversations with designers. I know that the Hoods did you guys branding. Brett, starting with you guys, where are you guys in the process of building your brand, and how did you come up with the concept for Town Brewery?
Well, we have my family estate. We own a place called Rancho Las Lomas in the canyon. And my late father and my mother built this whole thing. It's a beautiful piece of property. And we do events, special events, weddings, and whatnot. So I was rummaging through some old artifacts and stuff my father collected. He was a pack rat throughout the years. And I came across these signs. And these signs looked just like our logo. This white logo with a black trim, and it said there was a Foothill Ranch, there was a Main Street, there was a Town Park Circle, and so I decided to turn our property into kind of a little town. And with that, I had, the brewery was here, and I was going to build the restaurant here. In the last 5 years, we kind of placed these. So when we started home brewing there, it was at Town Park Circle, and the whole dream was to there. And so instead of calling it Town Park Circle Brewing Company, my friends were all drinking. They're like, let's call it Town Park Brew Co. And then it became the whole thing. Like, well, what do you do when you're out on the town? Let's go paint the town red. Let's go talk to the town. Blonde, the town blonde. So there's kind of a meaning to that. My friends started calling me the town mayor. So it's kind of funny. But so everything's with that old English, that E at the end of it. So that's kind of our logo. We took that. That's our tap. That's simple. Our branding. That's with our beer and with our branding. We keep it simple, not too complicated, like the boys were saying. Or we get complicated with beers, but we want drinkability, and that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great story. And then Bobby.
And actually, that street sign. Someone came out and he looked at the street sign and goes, "Where'd you get that?" And I don't know. Found it. He goes, "Well, that's off Route 66." So that's kind of, so if you look at all of our street signs, they're actually in Rancho Cucamonga on Route 66, and Town Park Circle's right there. So it kind of became that whole, vibe to our brand, was that Route 66, paint the town red.
That's a great concept. And then the venue is exclusively is an event venue or a wedding venue.
Yeah, that's our ranch. We do weddings. We're known for that. We're a zoological garden as well, so we have a little beer garden there. We have a nonprofit. We rescue animals, tigers and zebras.
What?
Yeah.
Tigers.
You guys have tigers?
Tigers and beer, huh?
Yeah. How many of you guys have tigers? No, that's amazing.
I got a dirty joke
I've actually
about a
seen some
tiger.
guys out there. I've seen people actually having a good time out there. Seen some of the tiger fest. Pretty cool.
It's we're lucky to have that, and that's kind of what's spun this whole beer thing. Is we have an already existing crowd that's coming out there. So now I fought it, argued it, and my mom's like, "Well, who's gonna drink the beer?" Well, everybody. So now you cannot drink anything at Rancho but our beer.
I like that. You're gonna drink this beer.
You got to.
I think that's a great story. It's a cool brand. Bobby, why don't you tell us where you guys are in the process of Gunwhales? How long has it been around? And then
we've been open about 8 months now or so, and it's me and I got two co-founders who are from Orange County. I'm originally from San Diego, but we all kind of got together through home brewing and then to start this whole thing. So our brand is kind of like it's pretty focused. We're really kind of trying to strike the balance between like the raw, wild spirit of farmhouse brewing, which kind of comes out of a European tradition, with the pioneering hop-forward styles of California. So,
dude, that's some Cicerone talk right there. Like every one of those things you just said was like very high level.
So I mean, what it means is like like we're looking like what's authentic to our experience. Like
Gotcha.
Everything has to come out authentic, right? So we see like the region as a place that was, basically founded on citrus groves and ranching, farming, nuts, and things like that, and is also known for the coastline. So for us, that means like Saisons and IPAs. Those that's like down our wheelhouse. That's what we want to make. It's what we like to drink. And essentially, we kind of see like beyond that though, stylistic wise, we're actually trying to go further and make beer that kind of captures the sense of like what it's like to live here. So it's really terroir. That is really kind of some speak or whatever, but it's like something that's not really being explored that much in brewing to a degree. So we use like local or foraged ingredients. We do wild yeast. We actually have even captured local yeast off of like airborne fruit trees. So if we ferment beers with the local yeast, it has more of a sense of the place. You know what I mean? Versus like buying lab pitches and stuff like that. So we're exploring like kind of the edges and fringes of that.
That's
And
cool.
then Justin, my partner, is a chef, so we're also very like kind of culinary driven. So since we opened, we've made beers with oysters, smoky farro, California wild rice, stone fruit, just all kinds of stuff. Seems like every month.
That's awesome. So you guys have like a seasonal menu kind of thing. You're like, hey, we're doing oyster beer this time. It's a little briny.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know you guys did. That's awesome. Can we get kegs of those things sometime? Great story. I like that. And Gunwhales is in Costa Mesa. You guys are right off of, what street is it?
We're on Randolph, so we're like behind the camp, like
Okay.
one street behind the camp.
Yeah, it's a cool vibe. It's awesome kind of what's happening in that area, Costa Mesa. Super local. You guys should check it out. Where are you guys in the process?
In the process.
Yeah, so you guys have you said 4 months, I think you guys have been in business?
We're just climbing into our 4th month. Docent was, we actually spent a long time trying to come up with a name. I linked up with 3 guys who were in the process of starting a brewery and stirred the pot saying maybe we should come up with a different name. But
What was the original name?
Town
Town
Top
Park.
Dead Center.
It was what? Drop Dead Center?
Top Dead Center, which is an automobile reference.
Yeah.
So in any case,
Yeah, he was
the idea was not to get pigeonholed in one direction, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
makes
have
sense.
a theme for the whole brand. So we butted our heads for a few months, and finally, one of my beers was named Docent, and the idea was a guide into the world of different beer flavors,
Oh, that's cool.
and so we, kind of came to the idea that we're all docents in that world. We're kind of cheerleaders of the craft beer movement and trying to turn people on to new styles and the independent local brewery. And
Yeah.
Docent fit the brand more than it did just that beer. So
Yeah. And
that
the
beer's
hoods,
called-
but then the hoods kind of took over your branding and they did it for you. Like, did you have any part in that process? You're the brew guy though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you make the stuff.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I had a whole logo designed and everything, and then
They're
Those
like, let's
hoods-
throw some pros at
those
it.
hoods
Great
definitely-
job, Brian. You did your best.
I'm better at brewing than logo design.
This beer tastes good, but this logo
No, but the
too
hoods,
sour.
the hood's absolutely knocked out of the park. We get constant compliments,
It's really good branding. Yeah.
and it feels good. It feels right for what we're trying to do,
Yeah.
which is, a wide spectrum of beers, to be approachable, to have something for everyone, and be docents,
Yeah. Do you guys?
That's one thing that's like these guys are probably tell you about, is like naming beers and finding a brewery name and it's not taken, and then the names are just like one of the biggest nightmares for us to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Because there's 5,000 breweries and everyone makes 50 different beers, and like any word that's already been used is like in that.
I mean, that's what it's like just in creative in general. We're all like, naming shit. We Googled it. No, we can't use it. Like I worked at Nike for a little bit. We have to come up with slogans. They're like, nah, man, they're using it in Japan. We can't do it. Like, it's just a very interesting thing trying to name stuff and brand stuff. I mean, that's a big thing of like trying to set apart your brand from everyone else. I mean, Town Park, it sounds like you guys have a venue. You have tigers. I mean, that sets you way apart from everyone else. I've never even been around a tiger. I mean, when you guys are thinking like, hey, this is a thing that we want to do, differentiating ourselves in terms of flavor palette, are you guys able to actually like, I drank this beer, no way, that's too much like blah, blah, blah brand. I mean, how do you separate yourself from everyone else in terms of flavor palette, in terms of brand?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to the brewer. It's like a chef. I always say brewers are like chefs. They're hard-headed, they're creative shit, they're pain in the ass, but you gotta love them. And
Spot on.
It's so true, and they are, but they have it's their own style, and you gotta realize and Brian will tell you more, but the water will change it. Just like the bagels in New York are better than the bagels here, because they say the water's better. Just like the pizza is different in Chicago, it's the same thing. So I think. They're in South County brewing, they're in Orange County, it's Costa Mesa brewing, and we're in Anaheim. And all the water's different. So, you can't, I think you could do the same style, but it's like taking grandma's recipe. You're not going to make it the same because our brewer loves it so much. You can make it with love, and you can try and copy it, but you'll never make it the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I never even thought about the water thing. You guys are picking your ingredients. I mean, imagine it's impossible to stay consistent with your beer. Like, yeah, we ran out of oysters this month. We're not going to be able to make that anymore. I mean, how difficult is it to stay on your own brand? I mean, it's got to be difficult. Give us like a little minutia about like the making process. How hard is it to keep consistent with your own work?
Well, even hops. I mean, one of the biggest ingredients, one of the 4 main ingredients in beer change year by year and farm to farm, crop by crop. So you know, and those disappear, come on and off the market. So yeah, there's a lot of audibles to be called. You got to think on your toes, and I think that's what helps make, you know, a great brewery is being able to call those audibles and
Yeah, as young
think on the
brewers,
fly, right?
as young brewers, it's very hard to contract them to really get what you want. So you're kind of like starting at a disadvantage because the large producers kind of grab up all the stuff, you know. So you're kind of like trying to make, you know, chicken salad out of chicken shit for a while, you know. But you can kind of buy off different people, and you get, you know, the industry's pretty great like that. You know, we buy raw materials from each other.
That is another thing is, you know, the industry's an asset. Absolutely. Brewers like to help other brewers out for sure.
Yeah, it seems like you guys all got along. Nobody was like chest puffing when you guys all met. Brett immediately was like, "Hey guys, good to see you." I think that's pretty rad. I mean, the community of brewers has got to be like 10 guys. Like it can't be that many. Do you
Not
know them
these
all in Orange
days.
County? I mean,
No, I don't know them all by a long shot, but the guys I've met are super solid.
yeah.
Like literally got the shirt off of another brewer's back not too long ago.
Well,
Shout out to Stereo Brewing Company.
okay, how do you market to your consumers? How do you get people in to drink beer? I mean, are you still learning that part? Or
Yeah, always. I think for us, I do all the branding, all the social media, everything myself. So it's obviously just thin on time trying to. You
Yeah.
know, we have no marketing budget. We barely had enough money to open.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean? You're lean and this thing's all passion. So it's just, you know, trying to do something that's cool enough to get people interested. You know,
Yeah.
build out. I mean, we built everything in our own tap room, and that's kind of a sales spot for us. You know, people come in and feel, oh, this is a relaxing environment. And the beer's good. You know, they're
Mhm.
hoping that they tell a friend, basically.
And that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing too about being a smaller regional brewery is, I mean, our fans are our biggest asset as far as marketing goes. In the age of social media, you know, you couldn't ask for a better time to be making beer.
It does seem like people are kind of championing like small breweries and stuff. I heard Anheuser-Busch bought some giant.
Who?
I'm not familiar. Have you guys heard of them?
Anheuser-Busch, I think.
Anheimer, we'll go with that. You guys would sell out though, right? I mean, there's a price tag for that, right? I mean, probably $14 million. No. I mean, how do you,
I'm holding out for $1 trillion.
we're going for $1
Well,
trillion.
they used to buy like a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl, and now they just buy a market share, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
It's talking frogs are not cheap. You know?
yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we talked how to make the process a little bit, differentiating yourself in the marketplace, branding, all those kinds of things. What's it like to be a young entrepreneur, to be grinding it out on a daily basis, carving out a niche for yourself? What's some advice you would give to, you know, other young entrepreneurs if they're in your situation?
Say goodbye to your friends and family for the immediate future,
Yeah.
but no, it's all worth it.
Yeah, putting in some time.
It's a big hustle.
Yeah.
Took us 3 years to get open. I still have a 9-to-5 job in San Diego, and I commute every day. So it's like, it's just a hustle, man. You just
Sure.
work it out. You know?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's almost like when you're in it, you don't even know how to answer that question. Well,
Yeah.
maybe on the other side at some
Yeah,
point
yeah.
I'll be able to tell you.
For sure. And then, you know, bootstrapping a whole beverage business. Are you guys wholesaling it at all? You selling it to other people? Or are you guys doing kind of environment stuff like at your own, you know?
Well, we were grinding it. That's the fun part. Just like they said, is me being the owner, dropping off kegs the first 2 years.
Yeah.
It meant something to our clients, but it's also it's a lot of work. It's fun, but you get to learn all the aspects of it. My head brewer taught me a lot, so I've learned there. And, to answer on the other question, I'll go into our distribution side of it. I don't believe in any business. It's not an I game. After I turned 30, I figured that the me, my, and I thing in conversations, it went away. Egos dropped, and it became we, us, and ours. And it's without a team. I have a solid team of people, and that's what gives me the opportunity to still be CEO of a large resort and still be CEO of Town Park Brewery and run a couple restaurants as well. But it's that team that you guys, they all work together and they all push each other to do well. And I know what I'm not good at, and I know what they're good at, and so I've stayed out of their wheelhouse. As we put it. I'll tell you, the funny thing is, 4 years ago I started watching the show The Profit. I swear to God, people, process, and product. And I believe that. I really do. If you have the right people and your process is what we're trying to do in our brewery. We've looked around and seen what other breweries did wrong or what they would have changed. Time is money, so we want to expedite everything we've done. We want to make sure our systems are flowing perfectly. And with all that, I think beer, we hope to make a good beer, and then that's what we plan.
Yeah.
But our distribution, yeah. So on that question right there is, we got picked up by Southern Glazers, and
As a distributor.
As a distributor.
Cool.
So how are we getting in the marketplace? We're these guys are, they're doing, I think, more regional. We're going bigger.
Is it me? Stop touching the stools. If we stood up, we're human antenna right now. Is that what you're saying? We're like tinfoil hat people. Let's stand up, guys. What do you think? We'll try it. This is going good. We're like a barbershop quartet. This is hilarious. Okay, so process.
I was just saying, we're going more the larger scale, meaning we want to, we're beer in hand. That's what I want. Is I want everyone to come and enjoy it, but I also want all of you guys to have beer. And the one thing as a brewery, you cannot run out of beer, because the second you run out of beer and you're on tap at the Ritz or whatever, or wherever you are, nice restaurant, they ask for another keg that week, and you go, sorry, I'm still brewing another batch. Well, you'll never get on tap again. So to keep that relationship strong is something that I've kind of realized through our process, that we've never ran out of beer in the small craft contracting we were doing at the beginning. So that's kind of what we decided. But with Southern's backing us, I think we'll be able to, we could, out of our brewery, we could do 20,000 barrels a year if we maximize it.
Yep.
And with that, that'll make us able to conquer Orange County and not piss off Southern, our distributor, and vice versa, our clients who hold our product.
Yeah, it's sort of, you kind of have to be the slow growth. You can't just, drive it up to 11 and be national or international.
Yeah, they've asked, let's go sell in New York, or back east or Arizona or whatever it is. No, because Orange County is our backyard. We want everyone in Orange County to enjoy it and the experience and the people to come. That's kind of what we're focused on, the community and people and the experiences they're going to have while drinking beer. Because everybody, no good conversations start over a salad, right?
I never heard that one.
Beer.
Yeah. Your beer is good, by the way. We really like drinking it. Well, Brett was telling me that he really likes drinkable beer. That's kind of like it's his whole thing. And I actually really respect, as a non-beer enthusiast in general, just a guy who likes to drink, I would be flying up to Portland to work, with my clients or whatever. And it's like, hey, what do you want to drink? All we have is IPA. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not trying to eat right now. I want something. I want to have like 4 of these things. And so my body's all bloated, carb count's way high. I wear black all the time now. Were you about to say something? It sounded like you chimed in for a sec.
Oh, no.
I was gonna say that beer's a living product too, so it's a very difficult thing to get your beer out there. It's got to be moved if you want it to taste good. It's got to be moved quickly. You know what I mean? So just managing that is it's more complicated than people think.
Shelf life, it's got to go.
You want the people to have the best experience of your product as possible. So it's like you want to get it everywhere. But you're always thinking about people's experience of it. So
and that's a big learning curve too. Yeah. Just knowing what the new norm is. We've run out of beer, and I think it's kind of sexy at some point.
The exclusivity, scarcity.
Some sense of just like, when's that coming back on? And when it comes back on, there's a thirst for it, and there's,
Yeah. That's kind of the deal with Pliny, or, just trying to get it, not being able to, I never got to taste it. It's sort of gone now. I would say it's interesting that you're saying like, so that your wholesale model is like, hey, if we run out, no one's going to drink this anymore. But if we're at like we're providing experience for somebody, and sorry guys, it's gone. You had your time. It's like how kids wait in line for Supreme all the way around the block,
And it's just a different model, and there's nothing wrong with either of them. It's just, being a little more regionally focused, it's kind of cool to have people say, when's this beer coming back?
No, I think it's cool.
So
Yeah.
I dig that idea that there's a limited run of something, and that get in or you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how you see your portfolio too, because you want to push certain brands and build equity in them, so you can kind of leverage that equity into more products. Like Sculpin does that great, and then they roll off pineapple Sculpin, grapefruit Sculpin, habanero Sculpin, whatever. That's the whole model, right? But it's also things are changing so fast. 1 week people like hazy double IPAs, and then you go and make one and put your whole thing behind it, and we're gonna spend all the money instead of packaging, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So you're trying to it's weird. It's like you're trying to navigate it, and things are changing very quickly. So
I think that's another idea too, is you get people to trust your brand, and that whatever you're putting out that they're gonna like,
Yeah.
So maybe this particular beer is not on, but we can steer you towards something else you really like that fits that gap.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. Give them a round of applause.